The Stormchaser, conceptually, it's inspired by and sort of sparked by the experiences that we had in COVID, witnessing things that people were doing that kind of led us to a bit of a loss. Just sort of observing that the reaction that some people had to this extreme event was to just dive into the worst of us, basically. The film clip for The Stormchaser is framing the motif of like a atmospheric horror story around the themes buried in the Stormchaser. So like the metaphor of the story of the male character who is, grows obsession with this lake and with the water in the lake, and keeps seeing himself falling and being pulled into the lake, and his partner not being able to save him from that and feeling like he's distancing from her, and then her realizing that that's the problem, and she's held back and stopped by others like him, other figures that that represent the people that are like him, as he goes and has this self-destructive thing that no one can stop him from. For me, I see the visual metaphor as for the kind of radicalization that we witnessed throughout COVID as well, where it's like people they were already on the edge of some extreme stuff, just dove right into that. They lost family, they lost friends, they lost everything because they were diving down into this thing and no one could stop them. It's never enough, you're the first and last to know.
Jim sent me the track, which was it's a banger. It's really good. And for a narrative clip, you kind of dream of getting a track like that. But there's so many different parts which kind of work in with the story structure. And so many ebbs and flows too, which you can kind of match to the mood of the scene at the time. Often things start with a location, and I came up with a few different ideas, and then suddenly it struck me, okay, how about a lake house? It had that atmosphere, and I'd like to do a lake house horror film. But the actors were brilliant, and they're just naturals, really minimal to get, on my part, minimal stuff to get them where they need to go. I say, this is the scene, this is what's happening, I need you to get to this general area, and they get themselves there, and it makes it very easy and great to work with.
Hello. All right, just because we all hate ourselves. Shit.
I always see that's kind of unique.
It is part of the issue.
That looks like a death trap, and I weigh about half of what Bo does.
The guitar's on the boat.
Yeah, just on the boat.
Yeah, boy! Oh, shit!
It's a wise.
Right. Production.
Fuck, I think we're wrapped, right?
Rap on the band.
Hey!
Yeah, awesome.
Draw my fucking guitar.
Draw the drums.
Yeah, projects of this magnitude with this many moving pieces is totally different to making music. The production process in music is contained with us, so we're reliant on ourselves. Whereas producing a music video, there are so many external factors. For me, producing on this was trying to find where the start was, and then you get to the end and you're like, oh, nothing went spectacularly wrong. That's a good outcome.
When we stood again, when we stood.